Drake said some awful things to Kendrick Lamar. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, there is a lawsuit claiming defamation of character by one Aubrey Graham. He is suing his label for releasing a record that in his mind defames him, that calls him some very mean things, and he's upset about it, and he wants retribution. I want revenge, right? I feel like somewhere down the line, people lost sight of what really happened. And I feel like Mr. Aubrey Graham hasn't really thought about the things he may have said to Kendrick himself. And I feel like since there is a Aubrey's attorney, right? If you go on Twitter, there is an Aubrey's attorney who's all day, every day defending Drake. I think I should be Kendrick's attorney. I think low key, I think it's my job, my duty to actually remind y'all that this guy was pretty mean. And it was kind of like, it wasn't just he was mean to me, gang. I guess in essence, that's what the lawsuit is saying. He really said something really vile and nasty. And we're weighing, right now, we got to weigh how heavy the word PDF is versus every other word that Drake said. No, you're suing for a battle, right? And for the Drake fans in the comments, that's good. Yo, listen, he's suing for words that was said, no matter how much you add or subtract from the situation, he's suing for words that were said to him in a battles. Bottom line, point blank. I don't care who he points the finger. It's UMG, it's this guy, it's Jimmy Iovine. We're talking about Lucian Gray. We're talking about the words that was said to you that made you feel they went too far, right? So we're going to discuss this, but I don't think in a battle you have the right to say anything is off limits. He tried that last time with Pusha. Remember when Pusha said how much time he got? That dude is 666, right? That ended the battle for him. He was so upset that when Pusha said that about 40, he was so upset. Remember, he was like, yo, I don't really play that. The other stuff was whatever, but the stuff about, gang, Pusha said it. It's a battle. Deal with it. You don't file a lawsuit. We already had that. You already got upset and was over the top. I want revenge. Like, didn't get it. Came back and jumped into another battle. You probably shouldn't be battling people, gang, if you're going to say certain things are too mean and nasty, right? But I got proof, right? I went and doubled back a year ago, right? Because we had March 16th, Kendrick dropped Like That, right? Wasn't that vicious? He said a couple things just to stir the pot, like he stirred the pot, gang. Then April 19th, I don't know how many days, that's a lot of days later, but if we're talking about how fast did he drop, right? April 19th, Drake dropped Push-Ups, and we know how scandalous that was. It came out, everybody thought it was AI, and then he re-released it, he touched it up and re-released it, and now it became Push-Ups, right? Then April 19th, he dropped 2 joints the same day. Bang, bang. The internet was going crazy. He dropped Tailor Made Freestyle. Said some really mean things in both of these records, gang. And I'm here to recap it. I printed out when we're going to have a conversation because I feel like we need to have some litigation, right? We need to figure out who said what to who did what to who, right? Then on April 30th, right, still, he took more time. He let you live. From April 19th, he dropped Tailor Made Freestyles and Push-Ups. Kendrick ain't dropped nothing until April 30th. Remember that text everybody got? Kendrick dropped, da-da-da. Dropped Euphoria April 30th. He said some rough stuff, right? Just tap on the cheek, buck. Like, you keep the family away, da-da, all that, right? 616 in LA dropped again on May 3rd. April 30th. I know a lot of y'all forgot, because I forgot that May 3rd was a wild day in hip-hop. Because 616 in LA dropped. Then Family Matters dropped the same day. Then Meet the Grams, all that dropped the same day. I didn't even know that. I'm like, damn, I forgot that 616 dropped, like early in the morning, like 1 in the morning, some crazy shit, I don't know. Then May 4th, Not Like Us. Who remembers that? Like, we really got 616 in LA, Family Matters, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us all within like 24 hours. That's insane. That's insane, because May 4th, it dropped the next day, Not Like Us. And then May 5th, the Heart Part 6, give Drake's a little bit of credit. He responded a day later and included Not Like Us, so he had to have whatever they wrote done a day later. So all of that happened, and Kendrick said some really, really rough stuff to Drake in the constructs of a hip-hop battle, and Drake said some really mean things back. So I'm going to be Kendrick's attorney, and I'm going to remind you and that guy, right? that while you're filing this lawsuit and you got your paperwork in order and you're going against UMG, well, they released your music too, gang. Right? The little rough and tumble stuff that you said. And I'm just gonna be honest, some of this stuff is rougher. Some of it aged awful, right? Some of this aged really bad, but some of this stuff was really, really mean, gang. I'm like, yo, he really was like, he was trying to take this bro head off. I'm just gonna be honest. So let's talk about this. The awful words that Drake said. I am the attorney. I'm making a case right now. I took out some of the stuff that didn't pertain to Kendrick. I tried to get it all out, and I'm just gonna go over the stuff that pertains to Kendrick, and we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna be here for a while. Get some cupcakes, get some oodles and noodles. You got some wine, get it. We're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna chill out. Yeah, if you working, just work in the background. All right, put me in the background. It is what it is. So, like I said, Drake dropped push-ups. And this was the response after J. Cole came with what is arguably a swing and a miss, right? 7-minute drill. He ran it out there, then ran it back. He called the play, called the audible. Then he went on ahead and went back in the locker room. Game over. So push-ups came out. And let's go get into these lyrics, man. First of all, he says, I could never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand. So this right here, he starts out a diss record to Kendrick, with arguably is not even talking to Kendrick in the first couple of lines, right? You pussies couldn't get booked outside of America for Nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I believe he's talking about that girl that he was messing with, that Future was messing with. That has nothing to do with Kendrick. So we're going to strike that from the record. Your Honor, we're going to strike that from the record. I don't think that has anything to do with Kendrick if we really going to dig deeper now that we in the future and we realize that he just was, I guess he's just getting started. So let me keep it moving. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Backstage in my city, it was friend zone. I guess he's saying when he saw Kendrick after that Control verse, that's what it sounded like, or whatever else. I don't know if he's talking to Kendrick or whatever, but it sounded like we're gonna go with he's talking to Kendrick. And maybe after the Control verse, because the historic story, as he tells it, it was all good after the Control verse. It was never a beef with the Control verse. It was just a call to arms, telling, just like, listen, I'm a hip hopper, you a rapper too. I want to rap your head off, and I still don't know to this day why Drake never got it. But it took 10 years for him to get this work, and now he got defeated badly, and now he responded. So let's talk. You won't never take no chain off us. Remember Kendrick said, we snatching chains. I'm with 2 T's and da-da-da. We're going to be popping chains and da-da-da. So he responded, you ain't taking no chain off us. Okay. Rough and tough. He ready. He like, listen, I'm light-skinned, but you're not going to snatch this chain. Gang, listen. So let me keep it moving. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 men's on? He's talking about his shoes. He's talking about his feet is small. Okay. That's a little jab. He's warming up. Da-da-da. Okay. Let's see where it goes. The bark with the bite, nigga. What's up? This is a tough talk. He's talking very tough. You ain't snatching his chain. Your feet too small. You the bark and this the bite. Da-da-da. Like, listen, he want the smoke. And this is where we go. We end up with a lawsuit about you're being mean. But this is the tough talk. We start right here. Okay? I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. Extortion, baby. Whole career, you've been shook up. Really, 50? I mean, he said, cause Top told you, drop and give me 50. Drake is saying you've been shook the whole time. Listen, he's talking mad tough. Let's keep it moving. Drop and give me 50 like some push-ups, huh? Your last one brick. You ain't really not on no shit. He basically said your album brick and you ain't on shit. He's talking real crazy right here. This stuff you don't say to other rappers' face because fights break out, but he's saying it on his record. They make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. Do we really make excuses for Kendrick? Is that something we do? Let me think about this. Are we like biased? I think Kendrick just make better records than Drake. I'm just gonna be honest. It is what it is. I've always felt that way. It ain't because the battle. I've always felt that way. Pull your contract because we gotta see the split. He been talking about pulling this contract since way back. And Your Honor, I'm gonna stop right here and point to this because he been talking about pulling this contract. I think this is one of the goals that he filed this lawsuit, Your Honor. I think we got this lawsuit because he wants to see Kendrick's contract at the end of the day. This is why we're here, Your Honor. I believe that this whole case should be tossed. Throw it out. Throw it out. I think that this is a ploy to see Kendrick's contract, and we got the evidence right here, Your Honor. I'm going to enter this as Exhibit A, right? I don't believe that he feels that he was he was maligned by this song, Not Like Us. I think he just really got a really complex. This is a whole ploy to see Kendrick's contract, and I'm gonna enter that into the exhibit. All right, let me keep it moving. We just having fun with this, right? The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. You better do that motherfucking show inside the biddy. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. And Top say drop, you better drop and give them 50. I know Drake fans love that line. They repeat that line. Don't say it in a room of Drake fans. You might not make it out the room because they going to start going crazy. They love that drop and give them 50 line, but let's talk about it. He's basically saying that he's a pop artist. He said Pip squeak pipe down. He's calling him a pop artist. He called him short. He calling him weak. He's basically saying, listen, you can go do that Taylor Swift verse, but not around here. You can go do Maroon 5, but not with me. The irony is he does all the same stuff. He got a whole video, he got a whole commercial where he's dancing and chilling and singing and goofing off to Taylor Swift, which is a 100% corporate pop commercial. I believe it's for Apple, but he's right here trying to make fun of Kendrick's established relationships in the business and the songs that he's done. Rappers do songs with pretty much anybody got a vibe with. If you do a song with Maroon 5, did a song, it's no rules to this. You can do a song with anyone. I don't think anyone has ever clowned Drake for who he's done songs for, but Drake right here is clowning Kendrick for his affiliations and the songs that he's done, and he's making, this is a diss, it's a battle. He's supposed to be making fun of him. This is why we have a battle. This is Drake's first words to Kendrick in regards to the battle. So basically right here, he's sizing him up. He called him short. He's calling him pop. He's saying his contract is trash. He's saying, give me 50 push-ups. He's saying the bark with the bite. He's saying a lot of stuff. So right here, we're establishing Drake came to fight. Your Honor, Drake came to fight. He was talking very, very tough, very, very big. And this is the opening of the song. So Drake was ready for a fight. He was pretty much telling Kendrick, I'm here, let's get these dukes up. So I want to exhibit B, Your Honor, I'm entering that. Drake right here was not backing down, he was prepared. All right, let me keep this moving. You ain't in no big three, SZA got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down, Savage got you wiped down. So I don't know why he's putting SZA in a big three conversation, because it's always the conversation about big three rappers, right? Travis, no one puts Travis in the conversation of big three, and we've never even established what big three really is. Like, what is it? Best vocals? Is it best raps? Is it best hooks? Is it best songs? Is it most numbers? Like, what does big three mean? Like, we mostly just accepted that shit. Okay, it's Kendrick, it's J. Cole, and it's Drake, and that's the big three. We just accepted it, but we never. And everybody's putting their bid in. Well, Future should be. If anybody's number 4, it's Future. It's like a. Now that Cole is out, let's put the Future. What are we putting them in? Like, what is the big? What is that? Like, what's the qualifications to be in the big three? How do you quantify it, right? So he's quantifying and saying SZA, Travis, and Savage, right? Now we're not even gonna pretend to sit here and act like no goofy shit that Savage got bigger, any type of thing in hip hop than Kendrick Lamar. And Travis Scott, I'm just gonna say this, and this is what it is. It's just like almost like a Joyner Lucas, almost like a Tyler. They have a niche fan base, right? And you may say, Charles, what you mean by niche fan? Well, Joyner Lucas, I tell you, he could come out, do 350,000 the first week, and no one's talking about it. That's just how I feel about Joyner Lucas. He has a big fan base, but they're niche. They're gonna follow him wherever he goes. Travis has a huge fan base, but in the annals of hip hop, I don't know. This I might be reaching, gang, but I don't think we're going to talk about Travis Scott when we talk about hip hop in the future. I don't really see that. I really don't see that. I don't see conversations starting and ending with Travis Scott. I just don't. He make it pack an arena. He make it sell some records. I don't see hip hop. When they start writing the book of hip hop, Travis Scott going to be way in the back as an honorable mention. He's not going to be considered hip hop. No one. Travis Scott is more of an artist that just vibes, and people like his vibe. I don't know people going around really reciting Travis Scott's lyrics. I'm just gonna be honest. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know I'm not. It's in 21 Savage, he will be discussed in hip hop, but again, he's gonna be in that once you start naming 50 and 60, then you're gonna get his name. Okay, all right, number 45, 21 Savage. I don't think he's gonna be in your big three. But like I said, what are we quantifying and saying big three is? I just don't agree with this. But it is what it is, Your Honor, so we're going to keep it moving. Like your label, boy, you in the scope right now. He said inner scope, da-da-da. And you're going to feel the aftermath of what I write down. I don't really like that. But I'm at the top of the mountain, so you tight now. Just to have this talk with your ass, I had to hike down. So he's saying at the top of the mountain, he had to hike down. to see Kendrick. Okay, Your Honor. He's still fighting. Some of the punches are missing. I'm just gonna be honest. Let me keep it moving. Big difference between Mike and when Mike then and Mike now. He's talking about Michael Jackson versus Michael Jackson now. Michael Jackson in his heyday, he was the biggest thing. Michael Jackson, when he passed, he wasn't as big. So it is what it is. What the F is this? A 20v1 nigga. He's the one that created that 20v1. It wasn't 20 rapper. It was about 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This 20v1 thing just took a life of its own and it became a whole thing. But it's like, what 20? Who's the 20? 20v1 and it became a nerd. Yeah, he had to fight 20 people. It wasn't no 20 people. It was about 5 people. 4 or 5 people throwing little baby shots. It wasn't really that serious, gang. Just be honest. He wasn't fighting like that. Niggas across the room just mean mugging each other. He wasn't really fighting, nigga. Get out of here with this 20v1 shit. What's a prince to a king? He got a son, nigga. Give more love in the city that you from, nigga. And some of this stuff I said, it's not going to be directed directly. Some of it's going to be, could be Kendrick. It might not, So some of this shit going to slip through. But I'm trying to keep it to Kendrick. So I deleted some stuff after that because it had nothing to do with Kendrick. It seemed to be about Rick Ross. So I'm going to pick it back up. Drizzy Chippendale. He calling himself a Chippendale, right? That's a Chippendale dance. Probably got your bitch Chanel. I don't know. I don't know if I'm in a rap battle, Your Honor. I'm just gonna sidebar. I don't know if I'm calling myself a Chippendale dancer. Just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be calling myself a Chippendale. I don't know. Then he goes on, I just got him done. Boy, don't make me have to chip a nail. Your Honor, I'm gonna call foul on these bars right here. He called himself a Chippendale dancer that bought your bitch Chanel, and he just got his nails done, so he don't want to have to chip the nail. Your Honor, there should be some type of penalty. There should be a penalty for that right there. That bar, we gotta penalize that, and something needs to be done about that. He should be fined. That's just weird. Let me keep it moving. Rolling Loud stage, y'all were turned. That was slick as hell. Shit'll probably change if your BM start to kiss and tell. I don't know who that's directed. I'm just gonna be honest, gang. I'm sorry. I'm not astute enough to know who he's talking about, who was on a Rolling Loud stage and his BM started to kiss. Maybe it's Kendrick, maybe it's A$AP Rock, maybe it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, Your Honor, I'm gonna strike that from the record. I don't know what the heck is going on with that line. Hugs and kisses, man. Don't tell me about no switches. I'll be rocking every fucking chain I own next visit. I don't know how many times if he was talking about going to LA, I don't know how many times he's been back to LA since this battle started. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know how many times he's been there. I know I seen him in Houston once. I don't know how many times he's been to Atlanta, but I know that I don't think I've seen Drake in LA. And I wouldn't advise it right now. Just gonna be honest. I be rocking every fucking chain I own next visit. I be with some bodyguards like it said, I be rocking every fucking chain I own next visit. I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Top say drop your little midget ass better fucking drop and give me 50. So listen, right there, Your Honor, this is exhibit. I think I'm at C. Exhibit C. He just name dropped Kendrick's girlfriend, Whitney. And that is a violation, Your Honor. I'm going to say, I want to bring that to the front. He just violated by name dropping Whitney. That is egregious. And that is why Kendrick responded the way he did with such visceral and angry rhetoric, and he called them names, Your Honor. This is why, because he name dropped his fiance first. Let me keep this moving. And Trop say your little midget ass. He called him a midget, Your Honor. That ain't right. He called him a midget. Niggas really got me out here talking like I'm 50. He's talking about 50 Cent. Now he the bully now. Like this. Okay, this is why 50 was cozying up to him, because he name dropped 50. I'm just putting 2 to 2 together. That's why 50 Cent all buddy with him right now. Just gonna be honest. Niggas really got me out here rapping what I'm living. What? What? This stuff here different now. You're living. This how you living, Drake? This how you living, gang? Well, he did say he's a Chippendale dancer, so didn't paint his nails. Maybe that is how he living. Let me keep it moving. Niggas, shout out to the hooper that we bust. Niggas, shout out to the hooper that be busting out the gritty. We all know why you mad. I ain't even tripping. All that little heartbroken Twitter shit for bitches. This for all the top dogs dropping, give me 50. Drop, drop. This shit been brewing in the pot. And now I'm heating up. I don't care what Cole think, that dot shit weak as fuck. So basically, Your Honor, right there, that's Exhibit D. He said this shit been heating, it been brewing in the pot, now it's heating up. He basically said that fucking song y'all got did not start the beef with us, Your Honor, right there. If indeed, we need to ask him who he's talking to, because I believe he's talking to Kendrick, and he said that song that you got with Future and Metro, I'm just gonna feel like that's what it is until proven wrong by his attorney. I believe he's saying that this beef been going on. So this is him telling us right there that this ain't about none of this stuff that started with the like that verse. He been wanting to get at Kendrick, Your Honor. So I'm going to introduce this into evidence that Drake has wanted this beef for a while. I'm just going to be honest. Drake has been looking for this beef, and as soon as he got the first chance, he jumped in. He didn't expect to get outdueled and outmatched and to be called the names that he ended up being called. So now he's crying and he's suing. Throw the case out, Your Honor. Just throw it out. Let me keep it moving, right? I don't care what Cole think. That dot shit weak as fuck. Champagne tripping. He not fucking easing up. He's champagne, y'all. Just so y'all don't know, he's Champagne Poppy. Just for the people that don't know. Of a different elk that don't care what's going on Twitter. He's Champagne Poppy. He's tripping and he's not fucking easing up. That's according to Drake, right? Let me keep it moving. Nigga calling top and top one piece it up. Top one piece it up. One piece it up. Nah, pussy. Now you on your own when you sneaking up. He said, nah, pussy. Now you on your own when you speaking up. I mean, so he just called him a pussy, right? Listen, these are words, gang. What's this? Exhibit E, right? Exhibit E. He called Kendrick a pussy. He just called him that. You understand what's going on? He's saying some really mean, awful things, gang. This is all. I'm just on the first verse of the first song. I mean, not the first. I'm on the first song. He got more songs than this. He's calling Kendrick a pussy on this record. Your Honor, I need you to. Can I approach the bench or what? Are we done here? You know what? Let me keep going. Let me keep going. You done rolled deep to this. It's not fucking deep enough. Begging Cashapp, boy, you're not fucking beating us. Number-wise, I'm out of here. You're not fucking creeping up. That has been reverse, gang. He was out of here at that time. He's not out of here no more. All them numbers, listen, it was God's plan to show you the liar. All them numbers done reversed on their head. This guy losing in every, I ain't gonna say losing because they both millionaires and he's still making millions of dollars. Let's not get it fucked up. He's not losing. He's still getting paid a lot of money, but in the eyes of in the eyes of the culture and statistic wise, he's not in front anymore. Kendrick is in front in almost maybe one stat he may have. Other than that, this guy has beat him and created new world records and stuff that Drake wasn't even close to doing. This guy has surpassed him in every way. So numbers wise, he's not he not doing that no more, gang. It's over. Let me keep this moving. Money wise, I'm out of here. You're not fucking sneaking up. Cornball, your show money, merch money, feed to us. He basically saying that if he's talking to Kendrick on this, Your Honor, he's saying that Kendrick's show money is just merch money to him. This is egregious because Kendrick make a lot of money with these tours. Before this guy came along, Kendrick was making his bad but crazy money with these tours. Let's just be honest. I know a lot of people like to forget how much money Kendrick was making on these tours. It was astronomical, gang. And the narrative was always that somehow Drake started him in this game, so he was always like a little bro to him, and he never could get close. Like, he was close a couple times. Them tours was like, yo, listen, I think he beat him once or twice with them tours. I'm just gonna be honest. It wasn't that simple. Let me keep this moving. Cornball, your show money, merch money, feed to us. I'm going to let you niggas work it out because I seen enough. This ain't even everything I know. Don't wake the demon up. Drop and give him 50. All you fuck niggas teaming up. This is Drake's. This is the end of that push-up songs. And remember, he brought that push-up song out after everyone had said that they liked him. Not everyone, but a lot of people, it leaked, and a lot of people were like, oh, I like that record, right? So he went and cleaned it up, cleaned the mix up. I don't know if he switched the beat, but at the beat, I think it switched to something, But at the end of the day, he cleaned it up, cleaned up a couple of lines and dropped it out, claimed it, made a name for it, and put it on all DSP services, Your Honor. So he was ready for the fight that he jumped in. He wasn't coerced. There was no collusion. Drake himself came on this record, called Kendrick all kind of names, called him short, small-footed, right? Called him a midget, called him a pussy and everything else. Said his records wasn't shit. And even mentioned his wife. And this was all in push-ups before we even got it going. And before that even got going too far, I told you in the beginning, these things came out the same day. He dropped Tailor Made Freestyle. He mimicked Tupac voice. He mimicked Snoop Dogg voice. And now we know Snoop Dogg, now we know that somehow Snoop Dogg must have co-signed it. We didn't believe it at first, right? We thought it was the edibles, like Kendrick saying. But now in hindsight, Snoop has some, Snoop co-signed that. I'm just gonna go on a limb. Snoop co-signed that Tailor Made Freestyle. It's just the way it's looking now, the way Snoop probably heard that before he dropped it. I'm just gonna be honest, gang, because Snoop kind of rode that fence. He never condemned it, and it kind of like leaned a little Drake-ish in a way, which is irony. If you gave Kendrick the daggone key to the city, you gave Kendrick the crown to L.A. on stage with you and Dr. Dre, and then you're low-key rooting against him. And keep it moving. So after that, he came out with that Tailor Made Freestyle, and I want to talk about that because there is yet more mean and vicious and even cringy words in this one. He made his voice sound like Tupac, and this is what he said as Pac. Kendrick, we need ya, the West Coast savior. Let me put this as exhibit. Where we at? F, right here. He's mocking Kendrick, his West Coast status. He said, Kendrick, we need you, the West Coast savior. That is facetious. He's trying to make Kendrick, he's trying to get in Kendrick's head right here. This is another battle tactic. He's using, because Kendrick had a dream that Tupac talked to him and said, nigga, you got to keep going, da-da-da. So he's jumping into that. He's leaning into that because he knows a lot about Kendrick, just like Kendrick knows a lot about him. He knows about that dream of Tupac. Every time these guys do interview, the other guy watches it like this, like da-da-da. That's why they know so much about each other. Kendrick said a lot of stuff about Drake that I didn't even know. Because I'm like, wow, Kendrick said a lot of stuff. I had to go back and find out what he meant. I was like, oh, damn, that's from an interview. That's from an interview in 2013. Like, they know a lot of stuff. So he knows that Kendrick had that dream about Tupac, and now he's mocking the dream. So let me continue. Kendrick, we need you, the West Coast savior. Engraving your name in some hip-hop history. If you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity. Fuck this Canadian light-skinned dot. We need a no-debated West Coast victory. Man, call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. Heard it on the Button podcast. It's got to be true. That is actually exhibit. Where we at, G? Your Honor. And this is my most damning This is my most damning evidence. This may close the case, Your Honor, in regards to the allegations that I defamed this man. Well, let me look no further than Exhibit G, where he said himself in Tupac's voice. And side note, he has a version where he took off Tupac's voice. I don't know what kind of narcissistic thing he released that for, but he released it in his own verse with the same exact words. I never understood why you did an AI one and then release it a day later with your own voice. I didn't understand why he did that, but he did it. So we have his voice saying this. Call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. Heard it on the Button podcast. It's got to be true. He said it in his own voice. He told Kendrick to talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. That's a gift from me being, I'm Drake saying this. He tried to say it's from Tupac, but Tupac is dead. Tupac been dead since what, 1996? Some shit like that, gang? 96, 97, 95, one of them years. So you ain't saying that's a gift from Tupac. This is a gift from Drake. Drake said it. He conceived these words to say, talk about him liking young girl. Why, Your Honor? Your Honor, why would Drake put a pen to a paper himself or the ghostwriter? But somebody, I believe Drake wrote this, or the ghost. But listen, I feel like he put that pen to the paper because, for one, he knows that the allegations, or not even allegations, the way it seems online, the concept or the way people view Drake has morphed into this thing of this grown man who is kind of fond of young girls. I'm just gonna be honest. We have seen a thing where Drake has some funny run-ins with young girls, and Drake himself acknowledges that by saying on this record, talk about him liking young girls. Drake put the pen to paper and told Kendrick to say these things about him. So if you're a grown man liking young girls, what does that make you? A pedophile, right? And Your Honor, Kendrick didn't directly call Drake a pedophile. Let's just be honest. Pedophile was used in the song. He never said Drake is that. Okay? So let's continue. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. See, the reason he said it because he was trying to nullify it. If you ever seen 8 Mile with Eminem, right? What's the first thing Eminem does when he's about to, who was he fighting? He was battling, oh my God, no, this guy. I can't, so he's B-Rabbit, and I can't remember, Clarence has some really good parents, right? He's battling, and he diffuses everything that he's going to say to them when he says, I am white, I am, da-da. That's what he was trying to do, the 8 Mile theory. If I can get out in front, a lot of battle rappers do this. They try to get in front, say your battle tactic or your diss strategy, jump out there first and beat you to it. So he thought he was going to beat him to it. He didn't know it wasn't going to matter because he had so much more stuff to say that was on the light end of what he really said to you. But that was the one that stuck the most in the biggest record of the battle because he had already won by the time he dropped Not Like Us, in most people's opinion. And Not Like Us was so devastating. It was a nuclear bomb that when he said it on that, it was so catchy. That's what became the narrative. But he said a lot of other stuff before he even said that. He said a lot of stuff. He called him a degenerate, gambling, a lot of stuff. They both said mean things to each other. But right here, he tried to get in front of it. But let's just not forget the fact that he told him to say it, Your Honor. He told him to say that he likes young girls, Your Honor. So I'm going to keep it right there. I need you to remember, put a sticky note or something, right? I'm not trying to, Your Honor, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just letting you know this is very crucial information. He asked him to say that he likes young girls. This wasn't out of nowhere. I'm sure Kendrick heard the song, right? Because he said, you think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac? He was referring to the tailor-made freestyle. So I'm sure Kendrick heard the song. So therefore, we can conclude that Kendrick was given permission by Drake to be called a PDF, which he now is suing, Your Honor. But let me continue. They told me the spirit of Machiavelli is alive in a nigga under 5'5", so it's got to be you. Right there, he's clowning his height. He's clowning his height, Your Honor. We're still insulting this man. He's insulted this man every single possible way, mentally, spiritually, and physically. So let me keep this going. I would beef with the whole fucking game. It was me and Snoop Dogg had my fucking shirt off in the House of Blues. Why you gotta fuck this nigga girl? He gotta get abused. All that shit about burning tattoos. He is not amused. This is Drake writing in third person about Drake not being amused and surely on the vengeance path. And Kendrick is being warned by Tupac, no less, that Drake is some kind of threat. Let's just process what is going on. Are you daft? Like, what is happening, gang? Like, I'm just gonna be honest. This is crazy. This is insane to me. Your Tupac is gonna warn Kendrick that Drake is not amused. Yeah. Okay. That's jail talk for real thugs. You gotta be you. Gotta leave this motherfucker broken and bruised before we really lose. Now Tupac is afraid, Your Honor. This is Tupac and Kendrick and Drake's voice. Now Tupac is afraid to lose to Drake for some weird ass reason. Why, I don't know. Who ever thought Drake was gonna win this battle? Except for Drake. Let me keep this moving. This is hilarious. You asked for the smoke, now it seemed you too busy for the smoke. This was, again, when Kendrick was still preparing this music, right? He was still putting this together, the 10 disc records or whatever. He was putting together 5 + 5, right? So Drake took this as a sign that he was scared. Imagine a rapper being scared to rap. That really don't make no sense. Even J. Cole rapped, right? You're not ever scared to rap. You're just taking your time with it. You want to sit with it and because once you put it out, you can't take it back. So he sat with it, he got it all together, probably touched it up, da-da-da. But according to AI Tupac, right? He was scared to lose. You asked for the smoke, now it seems you're too busy for the smoke. I won't lie, the people confused. Well, after they pushed the narrative that he was taking so long, people were kind of like, yo, what's taking so long? But that's a narrative, right? They are pushing a narrative that he's taking. No one was like, you're taking too long. People get the album when the records when they get it. But when they're all over the internet saying, he's taking too long, he's taking too long. Where are they day 5, day 6, day 7? After you hear all that, then you start thinking, wow, dang, he is taking kind of long. Because you have nothing but time and you're listening to different opinions. So they're shaping the narrative that he's taking too long. So yeah, people were a little confused because they had all these things in their ears, da-da-da. But we all saw what happened, right? It wasn't that he was confused. Let me keep this moving. How about now you about to give this shit another week with a question mark, right? And fall back so homegirl can run her numbers up. I would have refused. Fuck these industry relationships. She's not in your shoes. He's trying to say that Kendrick wasn't releasing because he was scared of the Taylor Swift. She was supposed to drop something. So Kendrick and Drake's mind, this is where he's so far removed from the culture that has nothing to do with this battle. Taylor Swift dropping something, anything at this time has absolutely zero effect on this rap battle. People gonna listen to that rap regardless. He wasn't putting it on streaming services. Taylor Swift was not gonna stop this thing in any kind of way, shape, or form. But in Drake's mind, Kendrick's scared to drop because Taylor Swift. That's how pop Drake is. That's how corporate the industry Drake is. That's why you have a lawsuit, because Drake is around a lot of corporate industry people that would say, well, isn't that defamation? He's called you up. Like, he's around these people. He's not in this culture whatsoever, because anyone in the culture knows that it wouldn't matter to people in the culture what day Taylor Swift dropped. They wouldn't even know. So it ain't going to stop this battle. But in his mind, he's writing as Tupac of all people that somehow, some way, Kendrick is worried about when Taylor Swift is dropping. And that's what he's writing, Your Honor. I think that's why we're really here, Your Honor. He's a corporate stooge. I'm just going to be honest. Let me keep it moving. Fuck these industry relationships. She's not in your shoes. You're supposed to be the boogeyman. Go do what you do, unless there's a moment that you tell us is not really you. In that case, there's nothing left to say. I'll just pass it to Snoop. So what he's trying to do right here, and it's kind of smart. If Kendrick is weak-minded, this is smart, but this really ain't to Kendrick. This really is to the people. It's more manipulation of the people. He's putting seeds of doubt in our head. Maybe Kendrick's scared to drop. Maybe he worried about... It's all to manipulate the people. He know this not going to affect Kendrick in any kind of way. Kendrick's not sitting back like, yo, damn, Pac just called. No! If anything, it's making it worse. You know how when they call it bulletin board material, right? Probably it wouldn't even have been this bad had he not dropped this thing pretending to be Tupac. It made it worse. Kendrick was like, he balled up a sheet of paper and said, let me start this over because I'm going to get this nigga, this thing slam crazy, right? But end of the day, he drops this. He's in Tupac's voice, and in his mind, he's trying to manipulate it and make people side people. And it was working. I went back in time, and I watched this What's the Dirt thing. Right? He did a poll and it was close that people was like, it started to work that people was like, I don't know if it's that cut and dry that Kendrick could beat him. Before this song, he was right. It probably would have been 80-20 saying Kendrick. After this song dropped, it was 50-40. Like it was closer. Like it was like 60-40, 55-45. So it was much closer. And this is thousands of people because this record sowed seeds of doubt to people. You gotta understand, people are like almost with Jedi mind tricks. You can do shit on people. You can trick people. You know what I'm saying? If you manipulate things a certain kind of way, which is what they were planning on, they was hoping for. All right, so let me keep this moving. So then he went into Snoop Dogg's voice, right? Your Honor, just pay attention. Nephew, what the fuck you really about to do? We passed you the torch at the House of Blues, and now you got to do some dirty work. You know how to move, right? Right? He's like questioning, like, you know, like here we go again. Like, does he know? Like, Kendrick hadn't dropped yet, so people, he really talking to us like, yo, does he know? What are you really seeing? Have you seen Kendrick really move like that? So he's trying to sow seeds of dollars. Let me keep it going. I know you never been to jail, orange jumpsuits and shower shoes. Never shot nobody, never stabbed nobody, never did nothing violent to no one. It's the homies that empower you. First of all, Snoop not gonna say this because Snoop ain't really never done none of that either. Let's just be honest. Snoop ain't done all that either. So I don't know why Snoop would say this to him, right? And we don't know what Kendrick did. These dudes they're from violent neighborhoods. Violent things happen in violent neighborhoods. You might have to do some shit that you ain't never gonna rap about. And from what it sounds like, Kendrick did some shit that he ain't never gonna rap about. Because it ain't gonna work out good for him to rap about it. There's no sense to rap about it. Okay? But we do know that he's done some stuff and he has done some things to empower himself and stay above the fray so that they wouldn't, because some stuff, once people smell weakness on you, then you weak and it's a whole different ball game. So some things you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me keep this moving. But still, you gotta show this fucking owl who's the boss on the West. Now it's time to really make a power move. Because right now it's looking like you writing out a game plan on how to lose. Right? See, it's manipulating. He's dissing in this record, Your Honor. Once again, he's still dissing. He's positioning himself as a man that's fighting. He's coming off as powerful. He's not backing down. He doesn't sound scary. He doesn't sound like he's in fear of his career. Let me keep this moving. But still, you got to show this fucking owl who's the boss in the West, right? And then he goes on to say, how to bark up the wrong tree and you didn't get your head popped in a crowded room. World is watching this chess game, but you are out of moves, with a question mark. Dot, you know that the dog never effing doubted you, but right now it seemed like you posted up without a clue or what the fuck you should do. Now, why would Snoop even get on this record? Let's just be honest. Let's say this was supposed to be really Snoop. This dude didn't do nothing but sow seeds of doubt. Like, this whole thing, it just was like, yo, why you, this the pep talk, my nigga, like, gang. But this is what he's supposed to do. He's sitting here now, he's mind fucking everybody, and he's twisting these words. He's coming off as your friend, but he really your enemy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, he's master manipulator. All right, let me keep this moving. The last verse is Drake in his own voice, right? Yeah, that's the truth. I'm definitely about to come around and lane gang and let my fucking bowel moves. Okay. Shitting on you niggas from a whole different altitude. High up in the sky like I'm Howard Hughes. The first one really took me an hour or two. The next one is really about to bring out the coward in you. He's calling him, he's ain't gonna bring out the coward. This dude got no respect. Listen, he sound like a dude got no respect for Kendrick. I'm just gonna be honest. You've been feeling this for 10 years? You say he told Angie Martinez they don't want it. So I guess this is him giving it to you. And now we gotta wait a fucking week because Taylor Swift is your new top. And if you about to drop, she gotta approve. What is we talking about? No one really talked about how dumb that really is. Like, I don't know if back then we said how dumb that is, but that's dumb. Like, it's really, really dumb. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of us was trying to be like we were trying to toe the line at the time. Like, we were trying to be like, you know what I'm saying, neutral and not lean and left lean and right. We were trying to be neutral, but this is dumb. It's dumb. This whole Taylor Swift angle is stupid. Should have lost the battle on that alone. Bringing Taylor Swift up more than once. Because she has no bearing on this thing. Let me keep this moving. This girl really about to make you act like you're not in a feud. She tailor-made your schedule with Ant. You out of the loop. Dude, you could have been writing some real good shit right here. These are a lot of bars about Taylor Swift. Let me keep this going. Hate all you corporate industry puppets. Hate all you corporate industry puppets. And now you're in a courtroom trying to do what a corporate industry puppet would do, is sue for defamation. You're in a courtroom doing a corporate industry move over a hip-hop beef. I'm not in the mood. I love it when you niggas talk loose like I'm not in the room. Since like that, your tone changed a little. You not as enthused. Was he addressing Euphoria? Was that? Hold up. What? He hadn't even dropped yet. Am I bugging out? He hadn't even dropped Euphoria yet. Am I bugging out? Maybe I'm bugging out. Euphoria was coming out the same day, but it came out late. So how was he not as enthused? What are we talking about? Let me keep this moving. How are you not in the booth? It feel like you kind of removed. You trying to let this shit die down. Nah. Listen, that's going to be my all-time favorite. It's like when people on Twitter, they say something crazy and somebody go down in their pictures and they hit them with the "this you," and it's the exact opposite of what they said. Like, it's the exact opposite. This nah. This sums the battle up perfectly. I've been saying this since last year. Nah, because When he said that, I felt that. I was like, oh boy. And then when this dude came back and beat the dog shit out of her, I'm like, I know he wish he'd never said that shit. He said that shit was he was so confident. Nah. He made us all feel like Kendrick was backing out. He wasn't backing out, gang. Not this time, nigga, you following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the fuck is taking so long? We waiting on you. We waiting on you. I'm gonna enter that into Exhibit H. Your Honor. He said we're waiting on you. Your Honor, I'm gonna exhibit that. I'm gonna enter that as evidence. Drake literally in his own voice told Kendrick that we waiting on you. Drake was waiting on Kendrick so he can continue this battle. He had no signs of getting out, Your Honor. He was ready, willing, and able to take everything that came with this battle. He had all his ducks in a row, and he was ready to go. So why now, Your Honor, a year later, we are in a court of law trying to litigate words that was used in a rap battle? I don't understand this, Your Honor. I'm slightly confused, in the words of Drake. Now, the outro. Yeah, shout out to Taylor Swift, biggest gangster in the music. It must have been a crazy night in the studio because the guy just kept talking about Taylor Swift. 2 different records. He just still talking about Taylor Swift all night. They must have had a picture on the wall. I don't know if he got a text from her. I don't know what's going on, but he's just obsessed with this girl. And it's not, I don't know who's thinking that this is fire. Like, what part of this is fire to keep talking about Taylor Swift in a rap battle? What part of this is dope? And shout out to my Drake fans. I'm trying to get some Drake fans to come debate, but I don't really know because it's, why would I do that? Shout out to Taylor Swift, biggest gangster in the music game right now. You know I moved my album when she dropped. I said that already. You know she about to Millie run through a Millie rock on your head top. Well, she got a whole PG Lang on mute like that Beyonce challenge. Y'all boys quiet for the weekend. Dot, I know you're in that New York City apartment. You're struggling right now. Remember the narrative that Dot was holed up in this New York City apartment in Brooklyn, and he was gathering all this information. He was putting out all these feelers, trying to get dirt on Drake, and he was just spiraling. That was the narrative at the time, right? I know it. In the notepad doing lyrical gymnastics, my boy. You better have a motherfucking quintuple entendre on that shit. Some shit I don't even understand. So, Your Honor, Drake was ready and willing. He was goading. I'm going to enter that last little what do you call that, ad lib? I'm going to enter that as exhibit. What we at? H-I? I think we said H. I think that's exhibit I, where Drake is goading Kendrick, right? He's goading him, begging him to retaliate, begging him to respond. So we've seen a lot of different sides of Drake's, but none of them were elusive. None of them were trying to escape or divert the battle in any way. He goaded this guy. He pressured this guy into responding days and days and days. It was not even close that he really was embedded in this situation. He wanted this battle, Your Honor, and I believe he got what he wanted, but it was too much, and now we're here in court. He said, that shit better be crazy. We waiting on you. So he told him to do some double and triple entendres. And Your Honor, he did some double and some triple entendres. And it wasn't good for Drake. And now here we are. Drake indeed dropped another song. He dropped 2 more records after this. Because Kendrick came with Euphoria, which had a lot to say. He said a lot in that song. It was very damning. It was very insightful on the psyche of Drake and what it made people do that were leaning to this Kendrick is scared to drop. They turned this way like, bro, you should have left that man alone. It got really crazy. And they were like, now what is he going to do? Because I don't think he really got nothing in the tank for this dude at this point. A lot of people like, some people say Euphoria, it was over. And you can argue that. But I was like, nah, man's got to respond. All right? Man's got to respond. Man's not high. You got to respond, right? So he came back with Family Matters. Like I said earlier, that all this stuff dropped on the same. It was crazy because Kendrick came back with Euphoria. Then he dropped 616 in LA. Apparently, I believe I said it was May 3rd or something like that. And this guy came back that same day with Family Matters. had the whole, like I always say, he's crushing the minivan from Good Kid, Mad City. He had a whole, it took him days to get this video together. He did this video shoot. They was celebrating. They was up in the little Chinese spot that he got robbed in Toronto or wherever, in Canada, wherever it was. And they were in that, they just had a blast. They had a whole marketing plan. They had the song drop with the video. It was beautiful, gang. It was beautiful for about 20 minutes because this boy dropped another joint on his head top. Man, it was bad. It was bad, gang. And let me keep this moving. So that day that this guy dropped, he came with Family Matters. And these are some of the mean and vicious words, Your Honor. And we're going to get out of here because said, nigga, I said it. I know that you mad. I've emptied the clip over friendlier jabs. You mentioned my seed. Now deal with his dad. I gotta go bad. I gotta go bad. That's when you're on dad duty. You're doing too much time in like daycare mode because you think that dad rap is good. I think that's awful. I gotta go bad. I gotta go bad. I don't know. Maybe it means something else. Maybe I'm missing the double and triple entendre of it. But I've always thought that started off a kind of weak. But here we go. Let me keep this moving. Drop a 50 bag for the mob in the spot. Drop a 50 bag 29 for a thought. Oh, I was really trying to keep it PG. But you're a civilian gang in real life, you PC. I don't know where this narrative that he got that Kendrick is so soft and da-da-da. But that's the narrative he's running with. But I'm gonna enter that, gang. Your Honor, I'm going to enter that situation where he says you a civilian gang in real life, you PC. If you had a set, they would give your ass a DP. Right here, he's talking really, really gangster and really tough stuff. He's once again goading Kendrick and calling Kendrick for not being tough and not being a thug. I think he's setting it up where Kendrick has to prove something. He's trying to once again manipulate the situation. I think that Drake knows full well that him saying these terms like give your ass a DP and you're a civilian and things of that nature and you was in PC, he's trying to speak to a subculture, right? A violent subculture, and he comes in the courtroom later in that, not, I don't say about deposition, but in the litigation that he's trying to use, he's saying that violence was brought to him in this battle because of the words in the Not Like Us. But we clearly see him here using gang terminology, using violent words, talking about DPs. That's punishment in gang terminology where they beat you up, right? So when you do something wrong in a gang, you get a DP. He's sitting here saying Kendrick would get a DP, right? He's saying if Kendrick was in a set, they would give him a DP for messing with me because I'm Drake, right? So he's overtly speaking this is very culturally known in the gang community, the words he's using. So he's talking a vernacular that is aggressive, but in the same time, he wants to go into paperwork and say that somehow Kendrick brought this vernacular into it. Well, we clearly see that it was him, okay? Let me keep this moving. You know who really bang a set? My nigga YG. You know who really bang a set? My nigga Chuck T. You know who really bang a set out there is CB. He's talking about Chris Brown, right? Once again, he's speaking on this violent, he's talking about gang banging. He's speaking on this violent nature. He's speaking on 3 known gang bangers. We gonna call Chris Brown a gang banger for the the purposes of this conversation, right? But end of the day, he's still using gang terminology, violent gang terminology, talking about banging a set. Meanwhile, he's in the paperwork saying that it was Kendrick who brought violence into the battle. Okay, so let me keep this moving. And nigga Cole losing sleep on this. It ain't me. You better have some paperwork or that shit fake T, right? This is where it get interesting. This is going to be Exhibit J, Your Honor. This is the meat and the bones, Your Honor. We got to talk about this because this is part of the case that I think is one of the most interesting parts. He said, and the nigga Cole is losing sleep on this. It ain't me. You better have some paperwork or that shit is fake T. Can't be rapping about no ratting that we can't read. I mean, it's true a nigga slimy for my AP. So let me rewind. He's basically saying, you better have some paperwork because Kendrick accused him in an earlier verse. He said he alluded to Drake telling on someone. Because when Drake got robbed, some things was told and people got arrested, and I think that's one of the things that Kendrick was alluding to. So right here, he's saying You better have some paperwork or it's fake tea. Well, now we got the paperwork. You made a whole RICO on your label. You literally snitched on everybody in that office. Whoever's doing the payola that you put in court records, that's snitching, my nigga. You put a RICO on your own record label. That's snitching. That's the paperwork. That's the paperwork we needed to hear. That's what we said. You said, don't be capping about no ratting that we can't read. Well, we can read it. It's all over the line. You put this shit in paperwork. Because you took it out because you couldn't prove the thing about bots, but you put it in paperwork. You filed it in, I believe you filed it in Texas, and I believe you filed it in New York, that they were using bots, right? Which allegedly is illegal. You telling people, you're telling the feds that these guys are using bots. You're telling the feds that they're using payola, which is illegal. It's people in jail right now for doing payola. Believe it or not, that is illegal. In case you didn't know. So that's telling, right? You're telling about the label did this, that, and the third to promote a lot of funny style business tactics. So we got you on, we have you with the paperwork. So right there, you didn't know you were going to be snitching a year later, not even a couple months later, but this right here is alluding to that right here where you're saying you're not a rat. Using the street terminology. Well, I think that you, low key, we can make a case. Okay? So right here, Your Honor, we're establishing a pattern of his character. Okay? And I feel like he's trying to hold himself to these high street standards, but at the same time, he turned around and went against everything that he spoke on in his record. Okay, Your Honor? So I don't know why we're still here with a man who doesn't stand on anything. He's pretending to be this knowledgeable thug from the streets that's so tough and this and that and the third. But here we are. If you look across the room at him, Your Honor, I think he's scared. All right, let me keep this moving. I mean, it's true a nigga slimed me for my AP, just like how Metro slimed him for his main squeeze. See, down right here, we're not talking about, that's not about Kendrick that I know of. I don't know about Metro sliming him for his main squeeze. We're out here for attention, niggas say please, always rapping like you about to get the slaves freed. You just acting like an activist is just make-believe. Don't even go back to your hood and plant no money trees. So right here, Your Honor, this is another exhibit. I'm going to go with Exhibit J, where he's calling Kendrick a fake activist. And he's saying that he's always rapping like he's trying to get the slaves freed, which he doesn't know that this really is one of the reasons he lost the whole battle, because of the slave freed line. That was very offensive to a lot of us. A lot of us people of color, we thought it was very, thoughtless, right? And I believe that he didn't understand the nature of what he was saying, because it sounds good until you realize the opposite of that is us being slaves again, right? So being from Canada and being detached from the movement and the culture, this is a sly line, and he didn't understand that this was shooting himself in the foot. But at the same time, he's using it to call Kendrick fake for his activism, even though we know Kendrick gave $1 million to Compton school system. He did a lot of activism in his community. He's always doing things for the kids, always giving back. So right here, Drake is once again lying and manipulating and using his platform for deception. This is where we are again, and that's why these accusations against him are not false. They are true, because almost everything Drake does and said in this battle, or did and said in this battle, ended up being a lie, being wrong, being misleading, and just downright overtly just deceptional and just vicious. And it just, I don't understand why he's gonna sit over there and act like he didn't do anything. Let me keep this moving, gang. You just acting like an activist is make-believe. Don't even go back to your hood and plant no money trees. Say you hate the girls I F, but what do you really mean? I've been with a black and white and everything in between. You the black messiah wifing up a mixed queen, Your Honor. Whitney didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve this. Drake is mixed himself. Why would you call her a mixed queen in a derogatory term? You're mixed too, my guy. Y'all got to stick together. What we doing, gang? What's going on? Why would you say that? I don't understand. Let me keep this moving. You just acting like a fake activist. You the Black Messiah wifing up a mixed queen and hit vanilla cream to help out your self-esteem. He heard that on the Mr. Morale and he decided to use it against Kendrick. It didn't work because everybody already knew what was going on. And it was when he was younger when he did all that. Allegedly, right? I don't know the guy. Let me keep this moving. On some Bobby shit, I want to know what Whitney needs, sir. I need you to pay attention, Your Honor, because now we're entering murky territory. Drake is known for sleeping with men's significant others, especially people that he is mad at or close to, right? I believe that he follows Whitney on social media, and I believe if given a chance, Your Honor, he would take advantage of her and try to deflower her and use it against Kendrick in the future. But this is where he goes in on record and says something derogatory about Whitney. On some Bobby shit, I want to know what Whitney need. All that puppy love was over in y'all late teens. He's accusing them of not being in love anymore, which is very horrendous. Let me keep this moving. Why you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? We could have left the kids out of it. Don't blame me. How you know what he's doing with his son? I would believe that Kendrick is doing way more with his son than Drake. Let's just be honest. I'm sure Drake is doing a lot more with him now these days, but I don't know about at the time of this writing. But let me keep this moving. He says, you a dog and you know it. You just play sweet. Your baby mama captions always screaming, save me. Because she be writing on her Instagrams, right? That's funny. You did her dirty all your life. You trying to make peace. I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Your Honor, I object. I object, Your Honor. I'm going to go with, I think this is Exhibit K. We're going to Exhibit K right here. This is egregious. He just said that Kendrick has been doing his girlfriend dirty her whole life, all his own life and her life, and that one of their kids might not be his, that it may be Dave Free, Kendrick's best friend, right? This was a whopper of a line when he dropped it. A lot of people were very stunned to hear this, and a lot of people were like, oh my God, do you believe this? This is crazy. This was very defamatory, Your Honor. I'm going to enter this as a defamatory statement because he told him that his kid is not his. The kid looked just like him. Drake has no evidence of this, but somehow Drake is going to run with this narrative anyway, saying that she had a child with his best friend. That's very damaging to the child if they were to ever hear that, and that's damaging to Kendrick and Whitney's relationship, reputation. So I'm going to enter that, Your Honor, as one of the mean things that Drake has done and said. Let me keep this moving. I don't know what else I got to prove, but wait, there's more, okay? I heard that one of them might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Free, because if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this is all making plenty fucking sense to me, right? Let that shorty breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Drake. Now shake that ass for Free. Your Honor, this man has violated this man in so many ways. The mother to his children, Drake is telling her to put her hands on her knees, shake her ass for Drake, and shake her ass for Free. Then he called her a bitch and said, let that shorty breathe. Your Honor, this man is offensive. He is egregious. He is extremely petty, and he's trying to goad Kendrick into an enraged battle because you can't fight when you're mad. He's coming at Kendrick's family. He's came at the kids. He came at the wife. He came at the best friend, and he came at Kendrick. Your Honor, this is not a man worried about defaming anyone or being defamed. He's very reckless with this. We are seeing that he has zero compassion for this guy, and he is doing his own thing. He's out to prove that he can win this battle by any means necessary, which includes outright lies. Right? Let me keep this moving, and we're going to get out of here. Yeah, well, not that kind of Free. I'm talking about my nigga Dave and your little man K. We call that shit a mini Drake. We always said I overlooked him. I was staring straight. These bars go over Kenny's head no matter what I say. I know you like to keep it short, so let me paraphrase. Knew it was smoke when Abel hit us with the serenade. Nigga said, he started talking about Weekend right here. Listen, as you can see, Your Honor, he has no qualms about talking about Kendrick's height, about talking about Kendrick's family and friends and things of that nature. I don't know what else I need to do to prove this, right? It goes on and on. If Drake shooters doing TikTok, niggas, realest shooters in your game, that's P, brother. Y'all get shot. So it's a whole lot going on, gang. It's a whole lot going on. I'm not even gonna read no more of that because I think we get the point. So right there, that was the end of that song. I don't know what else we need to say, but I think there's a lot of mean things in there. I think we've heard this guy really go off and say some of the most wildest stuff. But yeah, he's calling defamation. I think I've heard enough, right? But I want to get this last stuff off because I would be remiss to not speak on the stuff that was said in the last record, because that thing just goes on and on. But I want to get to, I'm not even going to do no more about Family Matters, right? Someone just opened his mouth, hand him a Grammy right now. I'm going to wrap this up because I've been keeping y'all here too long. I want to wrap this up with the last of the egregiousness. The Heart Part 6, when it was clear that Drake was losing and bowing out, and he was waning a little bit, right? After saying, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, right? That didn't work. None of that worked because he wasn't dead. He was fully alive, right? So I want to break down the Heart Part 6 and get to this and rest my case, Your Honor. The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. This is Drake in regards to Kendrick. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? I think we're in court right now, sir. I think Drake, in technical terms, if he wasn't a civilian and we're talking about, did you rat? Yes, you went and told because you did the same thing with UMG that you're accusing that they did with Kendrick. So yes, sir, you came out of a criminal organization and you started telling on that organization. If UMG is doing crimes such as Payola and Body, they were doing it for you as well. And you were in it, you were benefiting from it for 15 years. You were a part of that criminal organization. You came out of the organization because you lost a battle and now you're telling. So therefore, there is paperwork in the cabinet that it's filed in. 1090 Jake would have took all the walls down. The streets would have had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal Connect stand up, not fall down. What's that mean? What Montreal Connects? What we talking about? Is there something going on in Montreal? Okay, let me keep it moving. The ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. I'm a war seasoned general in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. So right there, the ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. He goes on in this, further on in this record to say he gave Kendrick the stories. So who are the clowns? So let me continue. I'm a war general seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. So he says, the ones you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. And then goes, we plotted for a week and gave you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving him a fake name or a destination, but you're so thirsty, you're not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. So now he's in Venice, he was in New York, and now he's in Venice, and da-da-da. You're controlling the narrative, you're spinning stories. Your Honor, I want to enter this into evidence. If Drake indeed gave Kendrick the stories, we want the proof. We want them to show us the proof right now. We do not have these documents of proof that he claims to have, that he spun these stories and gave it to a desperate Kendrick. I'm sure there would be some type of evidence somewhere that we can grasp and see, that he can show us. I'm sure there would be some recorded phone calls, some emails, some text messages, right? Some form of communication that he can show us in the courtroom today, right? Or we're going to have to go and say this is another lie and manipulation tactic, but Once again, we're dealing with a man who's not afraid to lie, who's not afraid to use manipulation tactics, Your Honor. As you can see, there is no evidence. There's been nothing submitted to us. We have received no evidence of him giving up any stories to Kendrick or manipulating Kendrick in any form or fashion. So we're going to say that that was a lie. And once you tell one lie, Your Honor, you know the rest of the case is a house of cards. And we feel like the house of cards has fallen. Nothing has been proven in this case, Your Honor. Let me keep this moving so we can get out of here. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you're not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You got to learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you used, the jokes and the medication. Comes to find out, them jokes, the medication, the picture, all of that was real. Like, gang, Your Honor, I want to present to you, all of it was real. It really was his father's shirt. It really was his dad's medication. Everything Kendrick showed on the what was it? The 616, I believe that was what it on Meet the Grams. Everything he showed on Meet the Grams was real. They really had his dad's stuff. But Drake is telling you he sent Kendrick the pictures. He sent them the information. He made him think this, that, and the third. He has no proof of doing any of that, Your Honor. This man is a liar. I don't think you should award him anything. Let me keep this moving. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on the speculation. You dumb and reactive nigga, I'm petty with dedication. Come to find out, when we saw the DMs from what was it, the Grand Wizard chat nigga from the academic TV page to Drake, Drake had no clue. Drake had no clue about any of this. Nothing. They spun the story after it came out. They tried to make it like he knew this, he knew that. He didn't know none of this, Your Honor. So I need you to be aware that we can go deeper down the rabbit hole and show you those DMs from him and Academic TV where they were telling him what happened. But somehow he's wrote this whole thing that he manipulated Kendrick some kind of way. Your Honor, throw this case out. Let me keep this moving. This is weird, man. This is wild. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? What bones? And why isn't Whitney denying all the allegations? What's she supposed to say? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? This ain't high school, gang. It didn't work like that. You haven't seen, that's how he thinks. Like, if you're not following me, what's going on? Like, da-da-da. That's why he unfollowed Ice Spice after he smashed, allegedly, right? Let me keep this moving, right? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months. The distance is wild. Dave leaving hard emotions underneath pics of the child. This nigga be lying, gang. And why not? Why would you not? It's not a hard emotion. It's a click like, gang. What we doing? Speaking of anything with the child, let's get to that now. That Epstein angle was the shit I expected. Why did you expect that, Drake? Your Honor, I want to introduce this into evidence. Drake expected to be called Epstein. Drake expected to be told or spoke about as a man who likes younger people. This is the second time you've said that. Why, Your Honor? I want to get him on the stand. I want to know why. I want to know why he thinks so low of himself that all we're going to keep thinking is he likes young girls and young people. Why, Your Honor? We need answers. His lawyer's not going to let him take the stand. I want to know. Let me keep this moving, right? TikTok videos you collected and dissected instead of being on some disdirect shit. You rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today. I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record that you say you were molested. Your Honor, I want to approach the bench. I object to that line. Kendrick never said he was molested. He said that he wasn't molested. If anybody that listens to Mr. Morale knows that's not what he said. But salute to Drake for listening to Mr. Morale and getting that far in the record and even to remember all that, right? So, good record. I love that. I love Mother. I love the whole Mr. Morale. I'm just a Mr. Morale guy, right? One of the greatest records in the 20th century or 21st century, whatever century we're in, right? I love that record. So that's just me. But you got it wrong, brother. And I want to let the jury and Your Honor all know that almost everything Drake wrote in this is wrong. You cannot trust a word he says. Do not pay him. Let me keep this moving. Oh, fuck me, I made the whole connection. This is about to get so depressing. This is a trauma from your own confessions. How is that disworthy? Like I'm writing a battle and I'm talking about you being molested as a child, and that's my diss to you, right? And you're gonna say, well, Charles, he called him a PDF. They're two different things. One is a victim, one is a predator. What we talking about? Let me keep this moving, gang. This is weird. This is the trauma of your own confessions. This is when your father leave you home with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and the shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. So now you're gleefully talking about his father leaving him home with no protection and neglected. I guess if that's the route you chose, but you just pretty much, you belittled, if indeed you didn't know, apparently you thought he was a traumatized kid that was touched as a child. You just literally, you wrote a very, this is, you're basically maligning him, making him out into some type of, I don't even know what you're doing here, to be honest. Your father leaves you home with no protection, so neglected. That's why those pedophile raps and the shit you obsessed with is so excessive. They're acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. You're tearing this man down in this, right? You're really, if he really is a person, a victim, you're really making him even worse. You're triggering him. This is very traumatizing. Let's just be honest. You're trying to get money or whatever from these people for being defamed. I think this is worse. If you thought this was a victim, and you're victimizing him again. You're taking him back into that. You know what I'm saying? He can really reverse this and be like, yo, he attacked my trauma publicly. I don't know, man. Get this guy out of the courtroom, man. This is bad. This just is bad, gang. You're just awful, but I'm just going to be honest. This is awful, gang. Let me keep this moving. I don't want to diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play. You probably start reflecting. Gang, that's terrible. This is screaming bully behavior. This is bully behavior. This is insensitive, right? But you want to get up here and say you were defamed. This is very mean. You said some mean things in this song, gang. This is very, very mean. Congratulations. You freaking outdid yourself. This is awful. Let me keep this moving. I've never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. So now you're accusing him. According to this diatribe, according to you, since he was touched as a child, he must like touching children too. That's what you're basically saying. You're basically saying he loves that angle and he's obsessed with it because it happened to him as a child, and Touch My Body is triggering. Were you thinking about this when you wrote this, gang? Like, did you really just throw it together? Because this is like the mind of someone out of touch with society. This is like somebody that's like in a third world country that think this is funny or this is dope. I don't know how this is good, right? I never dissected it this deeply because I never really cared this much. I don't care now, but it's like really, this is crazy to really write. To write this and put this out to the world, it's so clueless to where we going as a people, right? It's just like so wild to hear Mr. Morale, an album all about therapy, and then come back and try to like clown him for it. It's like almost some sixth grader shit. You're in your late 30s, gang. This didn't play well. It ain't aging well at all. It didn't age well when you dropped it. But let me keep this moving. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was effing young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. Because that's how that works. They always catch the rich ones, right? I'm way too famous for this shit that you suggested. But that's not the lesson. Clearly, there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really effed your girl and got her pregnant. Talking about breeding resentment. I'm not sure how to ease the sentiment. This is like I'm trying to go really low and really mean, but I don't have much. So I'm going to I'm building on narratives that aren't real. They aren't there. They're not true, but I'm going to make them true. And I'm going to just dig deeper and make them, I'm going to cut you deep with stuff that ain't true. And I'm going to make it sound really bad, but I know that it's not real. It's weird. Your Honor, listen to what I'm saying. This guy's trying to dig and cut this guy as low as he can get. Just imagine if this stuff, he thought, let's say he thought it was true. He's really trying to cut this guy below the belt about child molestation and his girlfriend cheating on him and having a baby behind his back with his best friend. This guy's really trying to be really, really mean. Why are we here? This guy's trying to be really awful. Why are we in court? Why is he suing for anything? He said some of the most heinous stuff in this record, but he wants us somehow to award him for what? Come on. Make this make sense. I'm not sure how to ease the sentiment. This shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit. So this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gonna see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp to tell the fans who was it. You thought you would left D flat, D, that's goofy. I'll slit your throat with a razor. Really? I think Drake is trying to be a little too aggressive and it just got out of hand. And I think he tried to do the double and triple entendres that he talked about. And this is all falling flat. It's all awful. It's all bad. It's not good at all. And it's worrisome that this guy could be this clueless, but still wants to be accepted in hip hop and in rap. This is not good, right? When we first heard it, like, oh, the beat is dope, da da da. We thought it was a better record. As we peel this stuff apart, it got worse and worse and worse. And I do Rick Ross air like that. One flight from Malaysia. If your baby mama's a screensaver, only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never look twice at no teenager. But you'll look once. Let me just keep this moving. I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass is in extreme danger. I guess he was really bad at this point. He's talking about slitting throats and bullets. Your Honor, I'm entering that into evidence, all into this record. He's talking about sleeping with this man's wife, doing all kind of stuff, bullets and razors and all kind of things, and just, it is what it is. Let me keep it moving. Stop buying views and bot comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit, you about to need that for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You sure? You put that in the lawsuit. Huh? You put that in the lawsuit. Your Honor, this guy's a liar. Everybody wants to keep talking about how this guy is doing this because of this, that, and the third, but everything he says is contradictory to what he means. Everything he says when he's rapping, he knows what he's doing is wrong with this lawsuit, because everything he says in these raps are contradictory to making a lawsuit about this. He's dissing this guy in every kind of way possible, slitting his throats, shooting bullets, all this, that, and the third. But then he goes in the courtroom, he goes in and makes litigation that defies everything that he's talking about. Streaming data, the exact opposite. Everything he's talking about, he's defying that right now when he goes into hip hop mode. I guess when he sits in a room with one light, one Sprite, and a pen and a paper, then he's a rapper. Puts his hat on backwards, now he's tough, right? And that's what he's writing to right here. But all this is contradictory to what you did in real life. You went and got your lawyers to make paperwork, and now you're suing. So all this tough talk is out the window. Let me keep this moving. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. Your Honor, I'm entering that into evidence. He called him a woman beater. That is a very, very demonstrative term. He himself has just defamed Kendrick. There's no evidence of Kendrick beating anyone. But in his mind, he's a woman beater. That is just reverse defamation. We gonna counter suit if it comes to that. But we not no suckers. We ain't suing nobody. We punching in the face on sight. How about that? I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you're still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the Savior. If you're still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the Savior. Said if they deleted his music, your music is going to a hypocrite. But they put his music back. Am I wrong? When Spotify was about to remove R. Kelly, Kendrick said, remove mine too. They put it back. Am I bugging out? Can I go in there and see R. Kelly? I don't know. I may be bugging out. Sounded like you sent him to commissary when he needs some paper. So now he's trying to link Kendrick to R. Kelly, right? It sounded like he's trying to link Kendrick to R. Kelly, but now he has a lawsuit about being called that. But you're trying to do the same thing. Okay? Let me keep this moving. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn to clout chase instead of doing hard labor. Where you working now? Nigga, I'll see you when I see you, like Fantasia and Whitney. You can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I guess that was clever in Drake's world, if it made any sense. But let me keep this going. This is the last thing I'm going to say. The outro, Your Honor, and then we out of here. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. He lied about everything. I'm not going to lie. This shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out. Get the pen working. You worked the pen, but it was all bad. You worked it in a bad way, gang. I'm just going to be honest. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator. And you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor. But it is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out. Now it's burnt out. You were telling them drop. You know how fast, you saw how fast these records came out. It wasn't like 6 months later. These records came out a couple days after each other. After you tell them to drop, it wasn't that much, it wasn't that long. After he dropped it, now you tell him it's burnt, he burnt it out, right? Now it's burnt out. Like you even got 10 more, you got 10 more records to drop. That's what hurt him when he realized this guy not gonna stop. He gonna fight till you fight. He gonna ride till you ride. Are you done or no? We're gonna keep going. He didn't understand that. And if he realized, damn, this is exhausting. I took everything I had to make that damn Family Matters. And you blew it up in 20 minutes. So damn, that shit hurt. That's why he came with the Hot Pot 6. He put all that in. He thought that Family Matters was gonna run for months. He's like, I'm gonna kill this guy with this joint, and I'm gonna be able to move on, start working on my new music because it's overdone. He dropped that joint in 20 minutes. Dude dropped. It was like, what? It broke him, gang. So now we here. You got this shit burnt the fuck out. The one before the last one. We finesse you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. You sure? And then you go drop the West Coast one and try to cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I can dance to if you wasn't tripping them down on some whole other bullshit. But you know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you to bring your A game, like, you know, but just let me know when you're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor. So Drake feels like all his stuff is facts and all Kendrick stuff is lies. That's not how it doesn't matter in a battle. Just keep spitting your shit. We're not gonna say fact check everything. Just spit your shit. You're a broken man because everybody believed him and didn't believe nothing you were saying. And they were going out to prove you wrong. Everybody in hip hop that was listening to this were like, that's the lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. Everything you said was a lie. People didn't believe you. And even with the thing you thought was a nail in the coffin, you thought the I don't have a daughter thing was a nail in the coffin. Well, it wasn't. People didn't care. Because people believe that they believe, just gonna say it, they believe you grimy. So they do believe that there's a girl out there that has an NDA that can't say nothing. And that wasn't the thing that killed you in this battle. The thing about the daughter, that was one thing out of probably 50 things. He killed you with about 50, 60 things. You're keen on the 2 that you're calling lies. What about the other 50 things? What about the gambling and all this other stuff he's accusing you of? The ghostwriting, you didn't address none of that. All you addressed was the daughter, and all you addressed was what was the other thing? The daughter and the other thing about the being liking young people. That's the only thing you really addressed. You didn't address none of the other allegations he gave against you. That's why you lost. You should have made a better record. You should have been dissing him better. And you were reaching with a lot of that stuff and it didn't make no sense. You're talking about Taylor Swift and a lot of other goofy stuff. Your Honor, I say this and I'm going to rest my case. He lost the battle bad. He lost the battle bad. And now he's trying to retaliate with a frivolous lawsuit. I say you should dismiss this case with prejudice, Your Honor. With prejudice. I'm going to get out of here. I'm done talking about this. I'm out. Do what you will. Free Kendrick.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.